We continue reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are reading from chapter 2, text 25. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Bhakti Yoge Bhakta Paya Yanhar Darshana Surya Yena Savigraha Dekhe Devagana. Through their service, devotees see that personality of Godhead, just as the denizens of heaven see the personality of the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has his eternal form, which cannot be seen by material eyes or mental speculation. Only by transcendental devotional service can one understand the transcendental form of the Lord. So if somebody says, show me God, then we must tell them, you have to engage in bhakti. That's the only way that we can be able to see or understand God. We challenge God. God is not someone, oh, God, come here. I want to see you. Why can't I see you? He is not our servant, that he is going to appear to our eyes whenever we desire. And then when we don't want to see him, hey, I don't want you in my life. I am the Lord myself. So then, who do we think God is, So it's only when we engage in devotional service. That's why Krishna says, Ye yatamam prapadyante tamstathaiva bhajami aham. As you surrender to that degree, I reveal myself. So then depends again on the desire, right? We really want to see the Lord. If that's our desire, really, sincerely, then we engage in devotional service. The comparison made here to the qualifications for viewing the personal features of the sun god. The sun god is a person who, although not visible to our eyes, is seen from the higher planets by the demigods, whose eyes are suitable for seeing through the glaring sunshine that surrounds him. So there is a deity of the sun, Surya Dev. We call him Surya Dev, right? He says, and then from him, all this sunshine is coming. It's coming from him. Of course, he's reflecting the light which is coming from the body of Krishna, the Brahmajyoti. So we can't see the sun god because we do not have that qualification to see. But the demigods, they can see him. They can see each other. We can't see any demigod because we are too contaminated with our material desires. So every planet has its own atmosphere according to the influence of the arrangement of material nature. It is therefore necessary to have a particular type of bodily construction to reach a particular planet. The inhabitants of Earth may be able to reach the moon, but the inhabitants of heaven can reach even the fiery sphere called the sun. What is impossible for man on earth is easy for the demigods in heaven because of their different bodies. So we have to understand that. We think everyone has this human body, and if they don't have a human body, then they must be looking like having very scary or very ugly bodily features. No, in fact, the inhabitants of the heavenly planets are much more beautiful than the ones that live here on this planet. Prabhupada would say that the most beautiful woman on this earth, it looks like a frog if you compare to the women on the heavenly planets. And that's the reason everyone wants to go. I want to go heaven to see beautiful girls, enjoy with them. But then we have to still come back after our karma is finished. So anyway, what is being stressed here is the demigods, they have a suitable body to live in that atmosphere. Our body is suited to live in the atmosphere which is on this earth. It's like a fish. The fish has a body which is suited to live inside the water. If we say, no, I don't want to live inside on the land, I will live in the water, then I will have to put all these artificial gadgets. It'll be a great challenge. How long could I stay inside the water for, Great challenge. Or we say, no, the fish must come and stay out in the land and I will provide it oxygen. It's a great challenge. So similarly, as in the earth itself, we have a particular body to live in a particular environment. In each planet, there is a different environment, and those inhabitants have a particular body in which they can live happily in that environment. So, what is that? Similarly, to see the Supreme Lord, one must have the spiritual eyes of devotional service. So how we can see the Lord? Everywhere. How everywhere the devotees are able to see the Lord. Then the verse is always quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam, from Brahma Samhita. Premanjana Churito Bhakti Vilochanena. That one who has smeared their eyes with the ointment of love. We put kajal or we put some eyeliner to make our eyes look beautiful. So if we smear this ointment of love for Krishna, we can see him everywhere. We can see him. That's the qualification to be able to see the Lord, the love. And how do we get that love? By engaging in devotional service. We can't artificially just say, oh, yes, I love Krishna. That's artificial. But if we really factually, practically want to do it, we begin the process of hearing and chanting, engaging in devotional service, worshiping the deity. The personality of Godhead is unapproachable by those who are habituated to speculation about the absolute truth in terms of experimental scientific thought without reference to the transcendental vibration. So if I just keep on thinking, oh, I know I can find God, I can see God, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that, then I'm just going crazy with my mind. I can just imagine so many different things. Even for any material knowledge, it's like that. If I don't know how to build a car, I've not studied it, I've not looked into it, how will I build a car? Yeah, so we are talking about God. So we need to have training about this without reference to transcendental vibration, by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, by chanting it with faith, with love, with attention, with submission, we will be able to see the Lord. The ascending approach to the absolute truth ends in the realization of impersonal Brahman and the localized Paramatma, but not the supreme transcendental personality. So one who is not receiving knowledge from the authority, one who's not receiving knowledge in the parampara system, one who's not engaging in devotional service, and they are thinking, I will find God by my own endeavor. I will study the Vedas, or I will do a lot of meditation and I will find the Lord. No, they can only by studying or getting knowledge, we can reach only up to the light, which is coming from the absolute truth. By doing meditation, we can reach only up to the Paramatma who's sitting in everyone's heart. But only by devotional service can we see the Lord as a person everywhere, the supreme absolute truth. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So text 26, Jnana Yoga Marge Tanre Bhajaye Sabha Brahma Atma Rupe Tanre Kare Anubhav. Those who walk the paths of knowledge and yoga worship only him, for it is him they perceive as the impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma. Those who are fond of mental speculation, Gyan Marg, or want to meditate in mystic yoga to find the absolute truth, must approach the impersonal effulgence of the Lord and his partial representation respectively. Such persons cannot realize the eternal form of the Lord. So it is again repeated here, as we just read, that Gyan Marg is going to bring us only up to the light manifestation of the absolute truth, the Brahma Jyoti, the divine light. And it's only that when we when we are engaging and when we are doing yoga meditation, we will be able to understand only up to his Paramatma feature. We cannot understand the supreme truth in whole as he is. Well, none of us can, but at least to the degree that he reveals us, at least we can understand that he's a person, when we engage in bhakti. So we can see how the scriptures are repeatedly trying to stress the point that the absolute truth is a person. Don't get only stuck up in your Gyan path, or don't get stuck up in the yoga path. Go beyond it. Go beyond it. There's a person beyond what you are, beyond only the light that you're thinking, or beyond the Paramatma that you're thinking. And that person is the supreme person, and the most lovable person, and the most compassionate person, and the most attractive person. Try to get to know him. That's what all the scriptures are trying to tell us, 27, Upasna Bede Jani Ishvara Mahima Ateva Surya Tanra Dieta Upama. Thus, one may understand the glories of the Lord through different modes of worship, as the example of the sun illustrates. But if somebody is a Jnani and has reached the Brahman, indirectly he's worshipping Krishna, no one else, because the light, the Brahman, is a feature of Krishna. Or if somebody is a yogi and he is worshipping the Paramatma, he is also worshipping Krishna, because the Paramatma is also Krishna's feature. Although they might not know it. So worshipping of Krishna is always there, directly or indirectly. Say Narayana Krishnera Swarup Abheda Ekai Vigraha Kintu Akar Vibheda. Narayan and Sri Krishna are the same personality of Godhead, but although they are identical, their bodily features are different. Narayana and Krishna are the same supreme personality of Godhead, but although they are identical, their bodily features are different. Then how do we understand that? Because Lord Narayan is an expansion from Krishna. Lord Narayan, he is an expansion. So he is also the Supreme Lord. The origin is Krishna, yes. And Lord Narayana is there sitting in all the Vaikuntha planets. He has the same qualities as Krishna. Of course, Narayan has qualities only up to 60. Krishna has 4 qualities which even Narayan doesn't have. And how the bodily features are different. Krishna is 2-handed. Narayan has 4 hands. So somebody says, oh, because Narayan has 4. Oh, here it's writing. Anyway, let's read. Inhota dvibhuja tinho dhare chari hat. Inho venu dhare tinho chakra dikasat. This personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who has 2 hands and holds a flute, whereas the other Narayan has 4 hands with conch, wheel, mace, and lotus. Narayan is identical to Sri Krishna. They are in fact the same person manifested differently, like a high court judge who is differently situated in his office and at home. Lord Narayan, the Lord, is manifested with 4 hands, but as Krishna, he is manifested with 2 hands. So God in office is Narayan. He's in Vaikuntha, where everybody is worshipping him. Like here we see the boss. When he's in the office, then he has all the employees and they will treat him with respect. Sir, good morning, like that, And then when the boss goes home, then he's relaxed. He's having a loving relationship with his family, with his wife, his children, his grandchildren. You know, they're hugging him or kissing him or, you know, joking and laughing together. So that's Krishna, that's Supreme Lord at home. That's Sri Krishna. So it's the same Lord. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so any questions or comments?
No, all clear.
Okay, so we'll stop here for today. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.